to the Gransberry Chronicles weekly pick'em. It's week 10. I'm your girl, the Gransberry Stadium Queen. All of the above. I got my boy D Jones to the left. What up, D Jones?
What's
And that's
popping? What's popping?
right. That's right. It's Friday night. I know in Texas it's Friday night lights. But there was Thursday night lights last night, and my nephew's team shined. But we are back after trophy season break. You know, the Astros only won the World Series. You know,
No,
just a little trophy
for the
season
second
there.
time. For the second time.
They won the ALCS as well. That's why it's trophy season. And I know you see this gorgeous banner back here. But I know this is a football show, but you must know that I'm going to give a moment of time to my boys. So we haven't talked to you guys in a while. We last left, we were all headed to Vegas. We had a great trip in Vegas, a successful trip, except on the field. But we won't let that stop us from always having a good time. It was a crew of 9, and I would say we got it done in Vegas as fans. On the city, a little gambling, a little
Did
drinking.
all right. Did all right. Did all right.
All right on the table. Did all right on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah. We brought back more than we left.
Of course. And for those of you who might not be aware, I've been to a few World Series games over the years, and I have been unsuccessful at seeing a win. I went in 2019. I witnessed a loss. I went I went at home last year in 2021 and witnessed a loss. I went on the road for back-to-back games and witnessed a loss. And then we get to 2022. I went to game 1. I witnessed a loss. And then game 3 after being postponed, and I witnessed a loss. But my good brother here graciously told me all week that I did not need to attend any more games. Gave me direct orders to leave Philly because I was planning to stay another day and go to a game in Philly, and I missed a no-hitter. But he says they had a no-hitter because I wasn't there.
Because you was not there.
Okay, so then we moved to Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was Friday night, I'm trying to convince my friend that it's okay for me to go and spend my own money and go see my team. But I had to convince my own friend of this who would not co-sign or help me pick a seat. And for most of you who don't know, like I'm always kind of running seats by him. And this one time he was just like, I don't have any input because I don't think you should go to the game. And this was like a first. He was adamant, like, stay your butt away. So I needed to break my own curse. So I did everything different. I made a shirt and wore a shirt that I made to the game. Left my crown at home. I left my chain at home. I didn't even post I was at the game. I just posted a shirt and said, let's go. And, it worked. So I got a banner back here. I broke my own curse. Meanwhile, I've been having some really bad curses. I've been accidentally picking my team when I wasn't picking my team. So even though we may not have had the show,
that was your sacrifice. Your sacrifice was your picks.
That's what I sacrificed. I definitely sacrificed my commitment to my picks, picking the right picks. Good thing I'm the host because I'm always winning in my mind, and I'm never behind Brandon no matter what I do.
That's true.
Big Sexy, we can always count on Big Sexy Coach to keep us honest with where we're headed. So we're gonna briefly get through these picks. Any shout outs? I love the sweater. For sure. All I know is I live in Harris County. I just want to put that out there. I live in Harris County. I live in Houston, and nobody was waving at us on election day. But anyway, moving right along, and we're gonna do as we always do. D Jones gonna get those picks out the way for us.
All right, let's see which ones we're gonna get out the way. So of course we missed Thursday. So Thursday I picked Carolina, you picked Atlanta, so we already off to a bad start. But the rest of them, we both picked Tampa Bay over Seattle. You picked Detroit, I picked Chicago. We both picked Tennessee to beat Denver. We both picked Kansas City to beat Jacksonville. We both riding with Miami and Tua over Cleveland, and we both picked New Orleans over Pittsburgh, and then finally we both picked Vegas over Indy. That's to get them out the ways. Let's get to the real ones.
Well, getting to the real ones, first good start is Minnesota versus Buffalo. And thing about this is Buffalo's at home. They need to bounce back. AFC East is obviously right now the hottest division in the AFC, which originally I think people thought it was going to be the AFC West.
Yeah,
But
I'm one of
injuries,
those people.
disappointments, yeah, whatever. It's led us to the East. And in saying that, we definitely slept on the Jets as not even being in our conversation. And I will say in fairness, we didn't sleep on them. They were still asleep. Their quarterback wasn't playing. Their starter was not
Yeah,
playing. So it wasn't like we were supposed to be picking them.
yeah,
Um, but I think we forgot about our analytics, right? That division always plays each other very close, and regardless of record and talent, sometimes the other guy gets through in that division. Uh,
true.
Often, very often, and it's a good seesaw balance of wins and losses. But even with that, I think Buffalo gets back on track and they get a win this week. See?
So the key on this week is what's going to happen with Josh Allen, right? So I think
That's
I saw
right.
one report. I saw one report was he was hour to hour. I think the coach said he's not day to day, he's hour to hour. But
Oh, hour to hour.
I
Okay.
I think he was just kind of exaggerating that. I, honestly, I still think even with if Josh does not play the way Minnesota kind of plays down to competition on the road, I think Case Keenum is a serviceable backup for that offense.
Against his
So
old team.
right against his old team. So I'm still going to ride with Buffalo on this, even no matter if Josh is playing or not. But I think that makes it even better for Josh to kind of sit this one because I think Case can win this game and not try to rush him because it's really the bigger picture for Josh than just 1 week and one victory. So I still think Buffalo pull this through at home.
And that still wouldn't change my pick. Also, because I know Minnesota riding hot. They still only have one loss. We got cousins wearing chains on the plane and all
They
that great
loose. They
stuff.
real loose. Yeah.
But they do play in the indoor stadium now, so I think things are a little different for them. So let's move along to our next buddy, and that would be Pittsburgh versus New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Or no? Did we do
That's
that one?
right.
Okay,
No, that's right.
okay. I think I couldn't remember if that
No,
was
no, no, no. We got that one out the way. We got that one
okay. I
out the way.
thought so. My
Yeah.
bad. I guess our next one would be Arizona versus LA Rams.
Yeah.
Um, Hop's getting back into a groove of things, and he's back at it. The Rams, they just off the rails at this point. Um, it's kind of hard for me to pick them at this point. So until something better or stable shows up, I'm gonna have to go with Arizona. Arizona has played some tight games, but the Rams have been consistently bad. So Arizona's, kind of got a more upward opportunity with Hop being back, getting him back to a little rhythm with their offense. So I'm gonna give the edge to Arizona once because division games are tight. This could be a chance for the Rams to get back on track, but shoot, they losing at home too. So I can't even say them playing at home is making a difference.
You making my point and then shooting my point at the same time because I was gonna say the division thing. I was gonna say them being at home, they can get back on the road. But everything you said is true. This is one of those game time decisions for me. But for the sake of this show, I'm picking the Rams for this
Okay.
show. Just because Arizona really hasn't gotten a good running game together, and without having a good running game, I think that hurts their passing game. Hop is going to get his because Hop going to do Hop type things, but for that offense to really work, I think they got to have a good balance. And with Connor just coming back from injury last week, they started getting some things going, but on the road, I'm gonna go Aaron Donald on this one. I'm gonna go with the Rams defense, kind of pulling through on this division game. Now that could change Sunday morning. I think they also said Matt Stafford is questionable.
Mm,
So if that would definitely change my pick. So
okay. Sorry to hear that. Um, but moving right along, we're not trying to keep too much going on that. But Michael, you wouldn't know a good pick if it was given to you free,
hold
because
on now. So what you
because
saying?
uh,
So you that's a
no,
dig at me too, though.
no, 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 no. You made a pick. He said good pick. Look, the reason I say that is because this is the man that told me about the Dallas game, remember? And it was
Oh,
gonna happen. So he would know a good pick. Anyway, you can come back and defend yourself later, Michael. But the next one would also be the Chargers versus San Francisco. I actually think this game might be a good Sunday night football game.
they flexed it. They
Uh,
flexed this one.
okay, so they agree with me, and I didn't even realize it
Yeah.
got flexed. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
going by
think
the
originally
matchup.
it was supposed to be Arizona and Rams. I think they flexed.
Oh,
They
thank
flexed this one.
goodness. I don't think that's gonna be a good game. I just had to pick a winner.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely with this setup. I really think this is a good Sunday night feel. Uh, two teams with some deep running back game at it. You know what? It's hard for me to pick. And the reason why is because I watched the Chargers, their new kicker. They were trying to learn the kicker's name before he kicked, which is hilarious. And I mean, with a name like Dicker the kicker, I mean, dude, um, you know, they gonna be in San Fran, but I'm going with Dicker the kicker, just because I like the name this week. No other reason. I don't even I don't even have some good football analysis.
That's your that's your
That's
that's your
that's
analysis.
my analytics. For, you
Hey,
know,
hey, that
sometimes
sounded great.
it's a thing, right? Like we had what's Ace Ventura's backup? Um,
Ace
who?
Ventura.
Yeah, in Jacksonville we had the mustache. What's his name? What's his name? He gone now, but you know who I'm talking about.
The Minshew dude.
Minshew, Ace Ventura's backup.
I
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I'm tripping on the Ace Ventura.
I mean, I know that's Miami, but that's about as close as you're gonna get. I mean, he had that vibe going. He
I
should have
got you.
a little bit more gel and a colorful shirt, and they would have been twins.
I
But
got you.
and then we done had like some Fitz magic, whatever. So I'm looking for Dicker the kicker. Like I wanna hear that. Like this is one of the times I want the field goal game, so we can keep saying Dicker the kicker. Like it's just hilarious to
No,
me.
no,
No, it's not hilarious.
no. I mean, it's fun. It's funny, but
Did you see the clip of them trying to get his name and they thought he was
yeah,
playing a joke on them? Like
yeah.
they thought it
I
was.
did. I did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm going
Okay.
San Fran.
You going
I'm
to
going
San
San
Fran?
Fran. Oh yeah,
Um,
San Fran. They get
yeah.
Debo back this week. And then of course, with you saw McCaffrey and what he was doing on his first game there.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
He
they
was everything. So he caught a touchdown, he rushed a touchdown,
and he threw a touchdown.
and he threw a touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when you ask what extra stuff you got for me in my contract.
Like what more do I need to do?
Oh, oh,
So
oh yeah, big sexy to Dicker the kicker. look, look, that's a good one. I can't. We need Coach Big Sexy. What I'm trying to see is in my picks. In my picks, I picked the Chargers. So in my
okay.
pick, I mean the 49ers. I just think it's fun to
Oh,
pick Dicker the kicker.
so
But
for the show, for the show,
for the show,
for
I'm just
show's
having
sake.
a good time with it. Since we don't have Big Sexy tonight, we need something, right? And
Hey, well,
Dicker the
Dicker
kicker
the kicker,
is
he
definitely
got it. He got it.
there. Oh, I appreciate you, Michael, for coming back and understanding that my line was a good one. You wouldn't know a good pick if it was given to you free. Long as you know, homie. Uh, that's true. Shout out old school. Shout out old school.
She can't
Hey,
stay still.
hey. I mean, um, I'm a woman, so let's move on. Washington versus Philly. Um, and by the way, we went in the order, a different order tonight, but we definitely believe that the Chargers versus San Fran is the game of the week. So
Yeah,
let's be clear
for
on
sure.
that.
For sure.
But we still got to give a shout out to our undefeated team. Philly on Monday night should get an easy win. Can't ever really say that when it's a division game, but there are a lot of things in Washington, but the football team is not one of those good things. So it should be a pretty easy win at home for Philly. Look, they already done lost the World Series to the greatest baseball team on earth, so they kind of reeling and they all trying to hang on to their Eagles. So they gonna pile it in there and give it on thick in their fandom because I'm gonna pause for a second and talk about the rudeness of the Philly people. And that
Mm.
they are definitely one of those people. You always hear people say, well, I wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. That's how I feel about Philly people because
Mm.
they were rude from every step of the way. When fans enter your city, they're bringing money. you know they're bringing money, and I wasn't talking smack or anything like that, but I couldn't even get my car out of valet without rudeness. I saw your little pillow in you know in your trunk with the Astros on it. You're gonna lose. Do you have one win at this point? Like stop. Then after the home one ran, they got a little feeling themselves and started asking me, was I coming back to Philly for the parade? Well, you can check my Instagram. I know where the parade was because I
I'm
was
about
there.
to say, say you was at a parade.
I was
It
at a
wasn't in Philly
parade
though.
and I didn't need a flight to Philly to do it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I really think they're gonna be out there kind of hungry for a win. I know it's two different sports, but the fans gonna need something to get behind because uh Citizens Bank Park is closed, and it is not closed with a ring ceremony. You'll have to just settle for try again next year, but I don't anticipate that being um, successful either. So with that in mind, it's going to be Philly special for me.
You had to get that off your chest.
I had to get that off my chest because I
I'm
made
just
it a
gonna agree
point
with
that
you.
I told them that when I got back on my show, I was going to let them know that I thought they were horrible, horrible, horrible people, from
Mm.
the valet to the city to I couldn't even go anywhere and eat with anything on. I had to take my stuff off in the car and go inside and eat as if my accent don't say I'm from Texas, but I definitely couldn't really say I was there for the strolls because you're just rude people. And I've been there
Mm.
for football too, and the football fans are ruder. And I figured out what the key is. The football fans get up and drink all day till game time. Whereas with baseball, there's not so much pre-drinking because you get there and you drink at the game. So the fans are ruder by the game's time passing.
Oh,
And
as the
and
game
you
go.
prove
Okay.
and you prove my point. They didn't show it on TV, but you idiots threw a beer bottle at Alvarez during the game. Like, first of all, he wasn't on the team in 2017. Like, your ignorance is showing. It's
They ain't
just
got nothing to do with 2017 anyway. So yeah,
it's you're just ignorant. You're just
yeah.
ignorant. And I can't even like wish you well on the win. I'm just picking your asses because you just get on my nerves after that. And I like Jalen, but I
I was about
now
to say,
cannot stand y'all. I can't stand none of y'all. Nothing about y'all at all. And when I
Woosah,
go back for baseball, I ain't gonna speak
woosah,
to none of y'all then either.
woosah.
I mean basketball. I can't even remember what sport I'm headed back there for.
Yeah, you going back, and you gonna be
I'm going
fair.
back.
Yeah, but Philly wins this, stay undefeated. Let's go. You said enough.
Damn it.
Oh, she mad for sure.
Old school. Here's what I'll tell you about that. So one of our fans watching, he said Eagles and Patriots will be one of the last two stadiums he visits. He's no rush to get there. And this is what I'll tell you. The Patriots are arrogant fan base.
That was my
They're not
first.
they're not necessarily trashy fan base. Philly is just trash. It's like they opened up the stadium the day before and said, whatever filth want a ticket, come down and get it. Because that's
You killing
because
them boys.
yeah, because I mean, and I say that because I mean, I sat on the 50-yard line. You would think people paying decent money for tickets would have some common decency. Nope, jerks. I sat behind the dugout on the third baseline at the baseball game. Jerks. So y'all about to be 3 for 3 on jerks. So in my mind, you're okay, old school, to head to New England. Plus, they don't have Brady, so their arrogance has hyped down a little bit, and they further away from those championships because at this point, other teams have won now, so it's not fresh, and they definitely don't have Brady to ride on. That at this point, they would just be talking about old stuff and don't nobody care. So it would be a little different, and
Well,
their
remember
air,
that was my first trip, and it was a playoff game, and they were not rude to us. I mean, that was I don't want to really get into details of the game, but we started that game off really really good with a good kickoff, and they was quiet, and then jumped on top of us, and they looked at us and gave us a little bit that you expect, but they wasn't rude at all. So, but I
I'm
agree with you. Now that Brady is gone, they probably
yeah.
taped down a little bit.
Yeah, and the difference too is they kind of like they're like in the middle of nowhere. The stadium's in the middle of nowhere. Like so you there for football and if you ain't balling, it ain't really much to brag about. Philly's in the city. I just feel like anybody can get there, you know. And that's what it looked like. Anybody got there and anybody showed
Mhm.
up. I mean, these trash people wouldn't even let me cross the crosswalk after they told me to cross. He gunned his engine. Now, what if that asshole had hit me? I mean, it would have been full coverage payout for my family, but still, like
Yeah,
it's just
terrible.
it's just asinine. And I'm not even getting into accents, Gonzalez, because I have a great Texas accent that I never want to lose, and I use it proudly in these other places to let them know. And you know, how you mess with an old man traveling to go to a game? How you just mess with Mattress May? Like something's wrong with you. Hey, and they thought they ran me off, y'all. They thought they ran me off. They said, "Oh, we thought you left." They don't know me. I don't never leave a game. Let me make it clear to y'all. I never ever leave a game. I don't care what the score is. I've almost missed a flight and a ride home. Don't care. We could be losing in the rain with 0 points. I'm not leaving.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. We can get our ass whooped worse than that in Atlanta. Not leaving. If I went to every game in the 2-14 season and stayed to the end, do you think a little 5 runs is gonna run me off?
Mm.
Absolutely not. I'm
All
built
right.
for this. All right. So after
All
my
right.
rant, because my brother gotta go.
No, no,
We
no. Because these last two gonna probably go quick.
They gonna go so quick, and that's what I was about to tell everybody. Y'all just got the best part of the show because this other game that we're about to talk about right now
But stay.
is New York versus Houston. And I'm gonna remind
Mm.
y'all again, we won. But we talking about the football team right now who ain't said that in a long time, and they probably ain't gonna say it the rest of
They
the
doing
season. But if they lucky, one more.
they doing a great job
They
keeping
doing
that
a
draft
great
pick high.
job of keeping our pick for the draft.
High. Yeah.
So far as I'm concerned, they're doing an awesome job. Way to go,
Mm.
Coach Lovey. But I think we give the Giants a free win because, as you can see, we still play 2 quarters of football. We don't know which 2 quarters you're gonna get. You're gonna get the first two, the last two, or the second and third, but you're only getting two. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go with New York and shout out to the red, white, and blue crew. They all in New York this weekend. I just y'all, I love football. I want y'all to understand that. I love it. I breathe it. I love sports. I absolutely love the kickoff. It gets my adrenaline going. But I could not press purchase on that flight to New York to go watch them play. I done been to New York 3 times, and 3 times is all
You
it's
ain't
going.
being you ain't being real with yourself. You would have did it if you hadn't been to Philly and then back and forth to DeSoto with nephews, football games, and all this other stuff you've been
But I was
trying to do
asked about New
in
York, but
Vegas.
that's true. But I was asked
It was
about
too
New
much.
York.
I
I was
got you.
asked about New York before we even made it to the World Series. And the
I know.
furthest thing from my mind was saying yes.
Yeah, but you always last minute hit your boy up. Hey
Okay,
D, I got this ticket in my cart right now. What should I do? So let's be real with yourself. You ain't go because you've been doing a lot, and I'm glad you slowed down this week because that wasn't the game to go.
that's true.
So you good.
It wasn't. Guys, I really needed a weekend off. Let me just tell you because um since October 28th, this is has been my life. I went to game 1 of the World Series. The next day I went to homecoming and the football game at homecoming. And then that
Mhm.
Sunday I got back up, drove back to Prairie View for a 9 a.m. volleyball game to support my niece. And then drove back to Houston and went to the 3 o'clock Texans game. And then I got up the next day and flew to Philly at 8 o'clock in the morning to be able to go to the game that night. I drove and parked for the game and then it was postponed. So then I had to redo my whole life and stay longer in Philly and then go to the game on Tuesday and watch the home run derby that broke my heart. And then on Wednesday, I had to try to convince my brother to let me stay and see another game, and he wasn't buying
Right.
it, and he wasn't convincing me.
Get
He,
on the
he wasn't
flight.
on my side. So I
But
caught a flight. That was the flight from hell to get back home. So I finally got back home, and I was supposed to go to the Eagles Texans game. Y'all, for once, I was so tired. I got dressed, and I just couldn't go. Like I just it was too much. It was just too much for your girl. And so I sat at home and watched Philly and Astros and Philly and Eagles at the same time. But that wasn't enough.
feeling an
I got
Eagles
up the
fan.
next day on Friday and I drove to Prairie View and went to the last home game. And that's when I started my convincing to the brother, could I go to the game on Saturday? And so the next day on Saturday, I got up. We worked on the shirt design and then I went and made the shirt. I only had time to take a shower and press that shirt and go downtown because Jackson State and TSU was playing downtown, plus the Astros World Series game was going to be too much going on with parking. So I went downtown at 3:30
You making me
to the
tired.
game. Yes. So I watched the whole game, of course. At the game, I watched the ceremony after the game. I stood in line. I was the last person. When I say the last, I mean the very last individual in line inside the stadium. So after all the fans inside the stadium went through the store, I was the last one before they opened the line out to the street. I shopped for like an hour, you know. Side note, that helper checked my ID twice because she was like, ma'am, I'm gonna need to see your ID because I said, well, because I spent too much money. Like this was embarrassing. Like everybody else just checking out. She's like, I'm gonna have to just double check. I just gotta double check. So I guess people got it. So all the people that paid to go to the World Series, and now we're gonna steal hats out the store with fake IDs and credit cards. Anyway, whatever. That was my tangent for the moment. So anyway, that was the first time I have ever been ID'd for
Twice?
anything I have twice for anything I had ever bought at the Astro store. And I'm not mad. It was just funny. Like, this when you gonna ID me tonight? Like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. So anyway, I did that. I went to my car, put all my stuff in my trunk, and then moved my car and partied all night in the streets until 3:30. Yes, I partied in the streets. You should have joined me. I was partying in the streets. Partying in the streets. Anyway, I partied in the streets. I went home. I got home at 4:30 or 4ish, right? Because I text. I let you know I made it home.
You
Remember?
did.
It was
Yeah.
like 3 4ish. So I get home, I go to sleep, I get up, and I drive back to PV for a game again at 2 o'clock. And I don't know how I did it. And then I took my niece out to eat, and I was a little pooped then because I had to stop by my homeboy house. And I took a little snoozer. Y'all, I couldn't even drive back home. I took a little snoozer. So look, I'm saying all this to tell y'all, I really like this show and I like the people that join in. And I want to thank y'all because I did not want another week to go by where y'all didn't get to experience us doing our picks. But I want y'all to know this girl right here is tired. I'm skipping my lash appointment this week. I'm tired. So next week, I'm gonna go to my lash on the show. Just know it's like, man, that girl couldn't even get to her lash appointment.
Wow.
Look,
Wow.
I didn't even put edge control on today because I'm tired. Oh, wait, and we still not done. Yes, yesterday I went
None
to
of us know that. None of us know that. That's TMI.
well, I
We
want the
don't.
ladies to know that I didn't get on here and forget that my little edges was gonna sprowl up a
That's
little bit.
fair.
So I
That's
just
fair.
want them to know that I was tired because a sister is looking and she's saying,
I'm
"What
with
is
you.
not here laid down?"
I'm with you.
So,
We still got one more
so
pick.
we got one more pick. But before we get to that one more pick, just know that even yesterday I drove to Dallas to support my nephew. Shout out to the Soto Eagles. And and they won round one. And then I drove back today and worked all day. And then at the end of my work day, here I am to give you,
You
I'm
worked all
giving
day.
you, huh? Huh?
We still got to talk about that too.
About my
About,
work?
yeah, about my client. You owe us. You owe me and my client.
Oh, but you and your client. No, I
Yeah.
redeemed myself with your client. I gave your client some extra stuff. Anywho,
Okay.
all
As long as you
right,
pay the extra.
now we get to them dudes on 45 North that I just left. um, Coach, you're
For
right.
sure.
I am sleep deprived,
For
and
sure.
guess
For
what?
sure.
I haven't even been having my normal caffeine. Like this is me. This is the pure balance of my adrenaline. This is
Bless,
all that's left.
bless your heart. Bless your heart.
And in between that, I want to shout out all the people who've been buying my PV shirts. I appreciate it. And the TSU shirts. The next order went in. Y'all making a sister tired and blessed at the same time. Now let's get to this last pick because ooh wee. Now Dallas at Green Bay, and I'm gonna let D Jones run the show because this is team. Green Bay is his little NFC team, but they right up there with the Texans. They acting like the
Don't be
so.
disrespectful. Don't be
Look,
disrespectful.
you don't want me to be disrespectful, but if
Don't be
we just start
disrespectful.
putting up some scores and we don't say who the quarterback is, they're gonna be like, that team is terrible. They just put up points at all times. I mean, so Dallas about to come in there and run that thing. You quiet. Tell me what you got.
Go Pack Go. That's what I got. Go Pack Go. We're gonna get back on track this week. I don't know how, because I've been saying that for the last 5 weeks, and it's been 5 straight L's. But I don't really know what's going on in Green Bay, to be honest. I mean, I watched the game last week, and I'm like, this from the top down, they look lost. It's like the coaches are overthinking things. The week before against Buffalo, I expected them to lose against Buffalo, but they got the running game going. They was feeding Aaron Jones, which they wasn't doing the week before. So it's like, okay, every other week we're gonna feed Aaron Jones. Last week they decided they was gonna go with Dixon, but I always mess up that guy's name, but not Aaron Jones. And I'm thinking he hurt, and then Aaron Rodgers out. Look, if you don't want to beat up, go home. It's just, it seems like I don't know if his heart's in it. I don't know what he got going on, but I will not pick Dallas. I'm going to give everybody that's on the app that's playing in our league a chance to catch me, since I am leading everyone in the pick'em. Just shameless plug there. I'll give you guys one free excuse me, one free game this week. I'm gonna pick Green Bay, even though I'm not feeling real good about it. So there you go.
Look, I'm a kind of agree with Coach Truck. And shout out to you, Coach Truck. I saw you doing great things. I saw your post today. Kentucky, I see you. But I agree with him. I think part of the problem is they are young. I won't say rebuild them, but they're young. It's a mixture there. It is.
That's not the problem. They
No,
young.
no.
They young
Hold
at
on. What I
receiving.
mean by that. Hold on. What I mean by that. I just mean that A-Rod and his arrogance and selfishness, he won't allow himself to work and grow with what he has. And when I say work and grow, meaning some things just got to change. Some things do. And
Yeah.
he has enough talent to do that. So he's not in a predicament that he has young, unpolished talent. He just wants what he's used to, which he could just throw it to Adams and he catch it. I mean, he's always just had a guy that he could just throw anything to and they got it. He was the
Well,
guy we counted on to watch a game for a Hail Mary. We counted on Brady to give us a great last drive. We counted on Rodgers to give us an excellent Hail Mary. And now he quit right in front of their face. Honestly.
well, it's there. Excuse me, I agree with that. But he's been playing like a shell of himself. I would accept that if the balls were close to the receivers and they was dropping them. The balls he's throwing right now, Adams wouldn't have been catching. It's like, dude, this guy's running a slant and you throwing a out. It's like, what are y'all doing? It's like I don't know if they just misreading each other or they just not knowing what's going on. I think, like you said, his selfishness at the beginning of the season, complaining about the youth instead of working with those guys. You knew what you had when they drafted them. So you knew you needed to be working with those guys in the offseason. You need to be working with those guys in the training camp. And wasn't no new receiver gonna show up. Odell wasn't available until now. So it wasn't no new receiver that was going to show up. So he should have been doing those things during the offseason to get those guys prepared and being the leader that they pay $50 million a year for versus complaining that they're young and they missing assignments. Work with those guys. Don't tear them down. So that's all on him. And then now he's looking crazy and they throwing the ball and no one's around. And so it's like, well, what's going on? And then the young guys are having a hard time staying healthy. Their first receiver picked in the second round, Watson, shows some flashes, but he's dealing with concussion issues. Then Dobbs was showing good things, and then now his ankle is hurt. So unfortunately, the injuries are part of the game, and they're unfortunate. But somebody else got to step up. So they got a couple other guys, but Aaron has to lead. He has to be a $50 million quarterback. And he has to lead that team and not pout. That's the only way they turn this thing around. They're not young in other places. Their line is their line. The left tackle has been coming back from injury, so he's been in and out. But he should be solidified. They need to run the ball with Aaron Jones. You run the ball, that's going to balance everything out, and then A-Rod got to act like an adult. How about he act like an adult for 1 week, and they can win this game. If all those things don't happen, then Dallas win this game.
So are you picking Dallas or Green Bay?
I'm picking Green Bay. Go back, go all day. I said I'll give y'all one. If we lose, we lose. But I'm riding with them.
Okay, fanboy.
Yeah, I'm being fanboy on this. I straight up, I'm being fanboy on this
one. So shout out to odd things that I noticed. We seem to always take a picture where I'm like, and you standing back there like, and this is one of the moments where I'm like, I don't know why you pick Green Bay.
You want me to pull out the shirt pull out the G? All right.
Y'all, we travel to Green Bay together, and his AFC team is the Texans and his NFC team is Green Bay. And he's wearing a Texans beanie, and he's got on this Green Bay shirt. And he does like this Superman open, like, yeah, what? Like, yeah, I'm rocking two teams at the same time. And right now, I'm like, yeah, you rocking with this team, and they just dysfunctional. That's just my bottom line thoughts about it.
We rock.
Yeah,
you rock with 2-14, right? So you understand.
Yeah.
You understand.
I rocked with going, but it was a lot of times I knew we were gonna lose.
I'll tell you when we're gonna lose. I do believe I don't feel this. I don't feel very confident in this pick, but I'm still gonna pick them. I'm just picking them because if they was on the road in Dallas, I would not be picking them. I'll tell you that right now. I would not be picking them if they was in Dallas. Absolutely not.
Coach Truck said it's the emotional pick, and we'll let you have the emotional pick. And that's a very good,
very true. It's very true.
Because
very true.
I have a lot of emotional moments during games, and I have a lot of emotional moments. Period. Since I was a teen, so they're not going away. And it's not a therapy issue because I've already worked through that with therapy and decided that that's what I want to have, a few emotional moments. And as long as I don't, but they never lead to me calling people out their name or hitting folks. So there's a difference in what I mean by emotional. My emotional probably could be like, a series of things not to do in public, but they wouldn't be things that would be harmful. They would you probably would laugh and I wouldn't give a damn, but that's probably what would happen. I mean, part of that starts with, me and my crown. My crown constantly changes. This is my new one. I rocked it at the parade. My friend suggested I get the smaller one. I just want you guys to know I'm ordering the bigger one because it's bigger. Go home. If he can pick Green Bay, knowing
It's
they
bigger
don't,
than that. It's
you
bigger
damn
than
right,
that.
bigger than this.
Look at the show. Look at how it fits the shot. It fits the shot. No, don't drop your chair.
I can drop my chair so I
Don't
get a
drop
bigger
it.
crown,
Oh my
and
God!
it's gonna fit.
I still
No,
take that over the little Martian ball, so I'm cool with that. No, don't go put them on. Oh man,
we're gonna end the show on a good note because I want you to know I keep these close by. Y'all, he hates them, and
yeah.
you see
Let's
how
do the
fast
follows.
y'all see how fast I grabbed them. I keep them close by. I want you to know. I want y'all to know. They mean a lot to me. All right.
No.
Shout out to Dallas. I picked y'all.
No. Okay.
Shout out to
Tell
Dallas.
them where they can find you, D. Oh, you can find me on on Instagram at djones9804 or on Twitter that boy D Jones. You want me to do your spiel too?
Do my spiel too. In my sleep
Me.
deprivation.
You know me. I'm at the Gransberry on everything. On YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on whatever the next
Stay
thing
off my
or the next
LinkedIn
thing.
though. If you ain't got no job, if you ain't got no job with no real dishes behind it, stay off my LinkedIn because these tickets cost.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and what y'all need to do is head over to the Gransberry. Nobody should be watching the big game this year in February without understanding the basics of football. I got everybody covered: the little kid, the girlfriend, the side piece, the extra piece, and the main piece. You can get them all this book and help them out. It's $15. Just order it.
The main piece.
I said, I'm gonna repeat that so y'all understand. The side piece, the main piece, and the extra piece. And the extra piece.
You got a 3-piece and a biscuit, huh?
I'll bring it back like Popeyes.
All right, man, let's go.
All right.
Let's go. See,
I really love y'all, man. I missed y'all. I missed you, D. We have a good time on here. I missed you. And look, I like the sidekick over there.
We've been seeing each other. We just ain't been with the crew.
Yeah, but your sidekick, let's be clear, is not a side piece. It's a main thing and the only thing. And
I can't handle no 3-piece. 1 piece is enough for me.
Okay, on that note.